Hey guys, welcome back to Scuderia Car Parts. So the World Cup is over. Huge congrats to Argentina on their win. And in the wake of England's defeat to the 12-man French side, I thought we would have a little look through the players' cars. Obviously footballers have a bit of a reputation for having some interesting, expensive, kind of outlandish cars. And that's, very true of the England squad, some more so than others, as we'll soon find out. But yeah, we'll go through them one by one and see what they've got. Right, so first things first, the captain, Harry Kane. Now, he's got a very British car collection. That's not to say it's an interesting car collection, but it is very British. So first things first, he loves a Range Rover. I'm sure you guys will be on the floor with shock because footballers and Range Rovers, they don't go together. But yeah, he's got he had quite a nice grey Range Rover Sport, which was stolen, and he's then replaced that with a white car. So I guess that's kind of his main runabout. I'm just flicking through the pictures here, and then he's also got himself a Jaguar F-Pace. Now, I can't see an SVR badge or an R badge or any kind of badge, so I just assume it's a relatively normal spec F-Pace, but yeah, a nice car nonetheless. And then his kind of most interesting car is a Bentley Super Sports kind of previous gen, finished in white. Again, footballers and white cars kind of go hand in hand. So yeah, not the most exciting or sexy garage, but certainly some nice English cars. Next, we'll have a look at right back Kyle Walker's cars. Now, Carl's had some cool stuff over the years, He's I'm just having a look at a picture of him now, and he's got a black Huracan LP610. So you can tell the difference between the 580 and the 610 by the front bumper. So yeah, he's got the four-wheel drive. And then another car he had a couple of years ago was quite a nice grey AMG GTR. Personally, for me, Magno Green's got to be the colour for those things. It's just iconic. But yeah, it's an awesome car. Very, very, very high speed, and I love them a lot. And then next is, and this is going to be a consistent theme throughout this video, is this kind of super SUV thing. He's got pre-facelift Bentayga that I think is fitted with the Onyx kit, and it's sort of in black with some nice little yellow detailing around it. Yeah, it's a nice car. I mean, it's a Bentayga with a kit. It's nothing too extreme, but certainly as dailies go, it's not a bad place to be. Next, we'll talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Marcus Rashford. Now, he's very on my street. He's had some serious cars. So the one I'm looking at now started life as a GT63S. Lovely car, really cool car, and actually quite a classy choice from him. I think it's a serious powerhouse four-seater AMG weapon. And you could have gone the S-Class route, but that's kind of a bit perhaps more geriatric than him. I think the GT63S is a great choice. Now, he didn't stop there. He went and actually, sorry, before I go along, obviously it's a freezing day in this picture, and if you have a look at the tyre that's turned out, he clearly drives his cars pretty hard. That thing is pretty much on the limit of legal. I think the cords probably aren't far, but yeah. Anyway, so he took this car, and he did one of the Brabus Rocket 900s. Which, I think there were 10 maybe, built. They're just, you could not get them. They were impossible to get a slot for. There are literally 10 in the world. It's 900 horsepower. So if he was spanking the thing when it was in standard spec, I don't even want to know what he's driving this one like. You can see it's now got the white interior with kind of green trim and stuff. And then it's actually been wrapped as well. So I think, it either started life as sort of the black spec that he had, which was lovely, and you can see he's got the two kind of green stripes down the front grille, but then the car actually went to white to kind of match the interior. I prefer the black, to be totally honest with you, but yeah, it's a wicked car. And then he's obviously got the Brabus Bug. He went and got himself a G63 Widestar, so it's a W463A, i.e. the kind of new G63. But yeah, absolute weapon. Again, driving on a freezing day, perfect for it. Four-wheel drive, see the road about as well as you can from any car. So yeah, that's a serious bit of kit. And then, to go back to the super SUV thing, let's talk about Uruses for a second, or Uruses. Basically every footballer and their mum has got one. It's ridiculous. Like, there is just footballer after footballer after footballer. I mean, some, there's one here that's got a Mansouri kit on it. A couple of them have been wrapped in silly colours. Carbon hoods, the whole 9 yards. It's a very, very popular car with footballers. Marcus Rashford has one, but he's not the only one. Now we're going to talk about Jack Grealish, who is maybe the nicest man in football. I think, regardless of who you support, I think most people would agree he is just a top shelf lad. He is not a car guy though, to be totally honest with you, and there's a couple of reasons why I say that. Firstly, he's pretty infamous for leaving a party and just smashing into a load of cars, and he caught a 9-month ban for that. So he's clearly not the best peddler in the world. But yeah, he likes Range Rovers. That's basically it. He's got 2 here. They're not SVRs, they're just sports. Again, not, nice car, but he's clearly not motivated by that at all. I think he prefers to kind of spend his money on his charitable endeavours, and more power to him, because he's a really good chap. So yeah, not a car guy, likes Range Rovers, good bloke. Okay, so now it's time for Raheem Sterling to step into the spotlight. I've got mixed feelings about him, to be honest. Or his car collection, rather. He's a hell of a footballer. Yeah, this G63 is pretty weird, man. Look, Onyx make cool stuff. That Bentayga was cool. F12 I'm not so sure about. And as you'll see, some of the stuff they do for the Bentley Supersport is pretty cool. But yeah, so Raheem's got what one would assume to be a G63, maybe a G65, unlikely, because they're very, very rare. But yeah, this is a previous gen, so W463, not a 463A, G-Wagon, probably a G63 with an Onyx kit. I mean, look, I don't hate it. It's just that roof bar's a bit weird. It kind of looks like a sad monobrow. Not a huge fan, to be totally honest with you. The wheels kind of look like almost like an HRE P101 or something like that. But yeah, I mean, the wheels are cool. The kit's pretty cool, but just that roof bar just doesn't sit right with me. But yeah, the other car that he's got is another Onyx car, which is a Bentley Supersport, again, previous gen. And it's finished in like a matte silver. And this kit that Onyx have done is actually really nice. Like, I think they've done a really good job here. It's kind of sympathetic to the original design while being a bit more interesting. The bonnet's pretty cool and quite nicely sculpted. And then apparently the story behind this one was that Kane rocks up to training in his one that we spoke about earlier. And then Raheem just rocked up with one like the next session because he was just like, yeah, I need one of those. So fair play to him. But yeah, so Bentley and Mercedes of some description with an Onyx kit, in fact both Onyx kits. Decent. Right, Luke Shaw, you're up. Now there's a kind of story about him, and I'm not sure whether it's kind of apocryphal or whether it is actually true, but supposedly he learnt to drive in a Range Rover SVR with his mum. Now I've got a couple of thoughts about this. Firstly, it's pretty cool, man. Yeah, like learning to drive in an SVR is pretty sweet, but didn't learn to drive a manual? Really? Yeah, come on, man. That's not on. If you're going to learn to drive a manual. By all means, go on to autos afterwards, but you need to have that basic level of understanding. Anyway, he's got a couple of cars. So he's got, are you ready for this? It's going to be a surprise. Range Rovers. But this one's got an overfinch kit, which, to be honest, you actually don't see too much of anymore. And it's a shame because they make really nice stuff. So yeah, he's got what looks to be like a Range Rover Sport, maybe 2018, I think, with an overfinch kit on it, finished in matte black. And yeah, there's kind of multiple articles that we found while we were researching this about him just parking wherever he wants. And I mean, here is literally a picture of him on a double yellow somewhere having a chat with someone on the wrong side of the road. So yeah, that's his thing. And then the other car that he's got is, I mean, you know what? If you're going to go and buy a Big Daddy SUV that is just an FU car, it's got to be the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. I don't think many other cars make quite the same statement that car does. So fair play to him. It's actually a pretty cool car. Range Rovers, they're kind of a dime a dozen, but the Cullinan is actually a relatively unusual choice and one that I support in full. Right, and final player of the day is Eric Dier. I almost feel like I'm in a pantomime or something, and you guys are going to start going, "He's behind you," because every single footballer does the same thing, which is goes and buys Range Rover Sports. So, Eric's made the highly unusual choice of buying some Range Rover Sports. Fair play to him, nice car, a bit boring. But the one thing that he's got is quite nice, is the Aston Martin DB11. Now, having a look at it, And please let me know in the comments if I'm wrong here. I don't think that there is a way to tell if the car is a V8 or a V12 just by looking at the front. Maybe there's some kind of difference with the grille or the chin or something, but I couldn't tell. I assume it would be the V12. You know, I don't think Eric Dier is short of a few bob. So I reckon he's probably gone kind of full spec. And yeah, they're a wicked car. Nice AMG drivetrain in there, so really nice and reliable. Lots of AMG switchgear inside. So all the best parts of Mercedes and all the design characteristics and qualities you'd expect from Aston Martin rolled into one. Hell of a car, sounds really nice with an exhaust. But yeah, cool car. And he's got it in a nice spec as well. The black looks really good on it with the silver grille and the silver kind of diamond cut wheels. But yeah, that just about wraps up our look through the England squad. I think they did a fantastic job. Luck wasn't on their side this time, but I think they'll come back next time and put on a hell of a performance. Well done to Argentina on their win, and we will see you guys on the next video.